Hello everybody and welcome back to Forever and Ever the Killie Fans podcast. It's season 4, episode number 16, and we're coming to you live from Limelight Studios in Irvine. My name's Paul Alexander Montgomery, and across the table for me is my co-host and friend Allan Michael Scott. Alright, Killie Cow.
I'm good, man. Delighted to be here as always.
Thanks very much for picking me up for the train station.
Of course. It's no light you to be commuting on public transport.
No, it's been an unusual wee day for me. I was up in Glasgow. I met Graham Johnston at a conference.
What a man.
So believe it or not, this isn't my full-time job. So so Killie Cow was kind enough to pick me up for Irvine Station, and then I've sliced my finger in his car. So I'm actually hot to try to press it to stop the blood.
It's brutal, isn't it?
It's actually an absolute slice.
It was the shock in my face when you actually turned and showed me your finger.
I reckon it's
about
2% after eating stitches.
Honestly?
Aye, feels deep.
So you want to tell everybody what actually happened?
So basically the handle on the driver's side door,
Passenger side,
pardon me, it's obviously the plastic's basically been broken, and it's caused quite a sharp edge, and I've went like that to open the door, sliced right through my finger.
It's brutal. There's about 3 or 4 folk in and out that motor yesterday, and it never happened to any of them.
It's just my luck, mate. I've used up all my luck when I married Mel. That was all my good luck I got.
She doesn't listen to the Patreon, but she'll be watching this, so that'll get done well.
That'll get me in the good books. Anyway, bumper show tonight. Loads and loads to get through. We're obviously going to talk about the defeat up at Ibrox yesterday. Rangers beat us 3-1. We'll talk about that. Aberdeen at home on Wednesday night. We'll chat about that. And then Falkirk as well. Double header away on Saturday afternoon. We've got your X questions and a couple of private ones that we got as well via WhatsApp and other kind of platforms. We've got Allan's Gripe of the week. We've got All Roads Lead to Killie, try to raise a wee bit of money for the food banks, and everything in between that comes up. We're humph, as they say. Halloween on Friday, into Halloween? Well,
we've discussed this before. We're into Halloween, but no Killieween, although
the world's combined this year. They're both the same day.
So I dread think what that means for the rest of the world when that does happen. But we're big advocates of celebrating it on the Friday anyway.
Absolutely.
But we're just not into the name. It's just Halloween, man. Don't need to Killieween it.
Nah, it's one of the things that's actually annoyed me the most in the world, that the fact that we've actually adopted this Killieween nonsense when we're doing it right and everybody else is doing it wrong.
100% agree. It's funny the amount of folk that are like, again, all the boys that were at uni and that, they just don't get it at all.
No.
You wouldn't have your birthday party on a Wednesday night.
Well, I was speaking to somebody today, a lecturer for King's College in London.
Doing a guest lecture on Halloween, man.
She was doing a lecture on like sociology at this thing I was at, and chatting away to her after it, and got on at the topic of Halloween, and I was trying to explain to her, and she was on board. Apparently she stays in Hastings,
right?
And apparently they do bonfire night on a Friday every time.
That's interesting.
On a similar vein,
and that says a lot about the sociological views of those south of the border.
And we'll leave it there.
No, I told you about the Devils thing, didn't I? Mr. Devils actually refused to celebrate Guy Fawkes night.
That's right,
because he saw him as a martyr.
He was a hero, wasn't he, to him?
As opposed to have to slag him for trying to blow up Parliament. So,
well,
but that says a lot, man. That's how
the demographics of the world, how people see things. I'm obviously in mortal danger here. This wound.
Yeah, you're doing a good job at keeping it in, right?
I'm trying to press it, but it's actually no stopping the blood.
You should take Stu's offer of the tape.
I'll do the tape before we do the Patreon.
Aye, we'll do that.
Right, okay, let's get down to business. Rangers yesterday, we get beat 3-1. You were up at the game, mate. I watched it. Quite a similar sort of feeling and performance, I thought, to the 3-0 defeat to Hearts the week before. We'll get into the nitty gritty of the game, but you were obviously up there, mate. So what's your initial reflections on that?
Bitterly disappointed, man. To be honest. Like, you called it though. You're like, it's the most obvious Rangers win there'll ever be, and I kind of bought into that. But having watched Rangers on Thursday night and actually taking just the European circumstances into it anyway, it's always a better chance to play against either side of the Old Firm after they're playing on Thursday night. We found how difficult it was playing on Thursday. Never mind with them playing far more games, but I actually had a wee feeling that we were going to get something
right
on like the day before and the day of the game. So I was like, because the way I was looking at it was still for me the worst Rangers team in like 10 years at least.
Could they come back up, would you say?
Aye, for the come back up, aye, definitely. Because the worst one before that, and we spoke about that on here, was they still beat us 3-0 in the cup. You know what I mean? When they were really toiling in the just before McCoy's get sacked in the championship. But so I had a wee feeling we would potentially get something, and I just thought, well, I mean, the first goal we concede is just so predictable, man. And there was about 3 of them that could have put it in, like, so horrendous defending for that. Didn't think we were in the game really that much at all. We had a couple of alright wee moments. Kiltie kind of has a half chance. I think Anderson has a shot early doors, or vice versa. And then we get a goal, which was obviously welcome. Great ball in for Kiltie. Butlin's obviously got to do better. It's a huge mistake for the goalie, and credit to Stanger to put it in at the back post. So we're all getting it big licks in the away end, man. Right next.
Sad,
man, I can, man. So, and one thing I want to say, I've been here and I've criticised stewards many a time.
Right.
Shout out to the stewards on our side. They were absolutely brilliant, man.
Oh, were they?
Because they let all the part. Because there was no badness, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was, well, the Rangers fans were it was just funny more than anything. Because they were all kind of had the big display. They were all throwing all the cards at us.
Oh, of course, right.
So, and it was just going from side to side. But obviously, I was placid. I was just sitting there, but I happened to be with folk who were getting it big licks. But when we scored, they went right through and right up to them. But in an earthy, you'd get chucked out for that. But the stewards were absolutely brand new. So
that's nice to hear.
But that was so after getting it big licks, and then the infamous beach incident, the one where we get bailed out with the Miofsky being offside. Well, I was like, that's one of the most embarrassed I've been in many embarrassing situations in my life. That was definitely up there. That
because you were getting at the big game, and then 2 seconds later the goalie go and does that.
Aye, but Ken, what I actually had to do, like, I wasn't even raging, man. I had to visibly be laughing at the situation, so that any of the Rangers fans looking at me were like, that guy can't be that bad. They weren't going for me at that, you know what I mean? Because they're like, he kens that's embarrassing, whereas the folk that would be going nuts and getting it back to them would be the ones that would get it worse. But you bailed out with that, and then I'm thinking, getting in one each at half time, you're like, I think we've got gears to go up, because
something to build to there, 100%, man.
Because I was like, we're no good, man. Like, we weren't good that first half. I'm like, we can definitely play better than that. And you take getting in one each at Ibrox at half time when you've not been good, thinking, right, here we go, getting out, and Rangers score after a couple of minutes, man. And I was actually just saying to Stu there beforehand, I thought that was the flattest I've ever seen Ibrox. But the big thing was, it wasn't toxic. If Martin was there, it would have been toxic. So that was the goodwill with that. But the fans weren't doing a great deal to get behind the new manager. But I just thought that right before the second goal, literally, I mean, seconds before it, you hear the groan when Rangers work the ball out to the left and they play it back. You hear the fan base going, it's starting to go, and I'm thinking, right, here we go, that's what we want. And then next time, boys, and a goal, and you're off. And then the rest of the game was just comical for their own. And I was just really, I honestly think that any kind of half decent team goes up there and gets a point or wins yesterday.
So I think that was my takeaway. I think if you go and do the basics well, you defend properly, and you've got a threat going the other way, you can get a point there without much challenge. And I think that's been borne out. The evidence is all there to suggest that. Every other team's done it, and we weren't able to do it. I thought we were really, really poor. And listen, Hearts and Rangers, they're in a different league to us. I think that's been, in a weird way, I think this has been a good sort of
it's week. A realisation.
It's a real, we can actually check in with ourselves and go, our job's to stay up this season, right? It's no fun to admit it, doesn't add much to the excitement, and it's not been negative. It's been pragmatic and honest about where we're at. We're in a mini league, I think, with 3 other teams, and we're wanting to finish in the top 2 of that wee mini league. That's genuinely what I think now, after the kind of the stages of the season that we've went through. But the disappointment is, if you go there and you defend properly, and you keep the ball a wee bit, and your goalie has a couple of good saves, you come away with a point there, because that's no a vintage Rangers team by any stretch of the imagination. However, the sad truth is they're still going to finish 20 points, 25 points ahead of us. That's the truth. So you just need to write it off. It's just disappointing because, as you said, most teams are taking points off the Old Firm and we haven't. And there's circumstances running about the Celtic one in particular, but that's the bottom line. So I thought it was really disappointing, man. A real opportunity to get a point, and all that means, it means obviously for the tally it's good, but just the general feeling to go up to Ibrox and get a point lifts everything. And to surrender that meekly, mate, was really poor.
that's the big thing for me. Is I don't doubt that in the next couple of years that we can go to Ibrox and get a positive result again. Like, I'm not saying that that's our one and only chance. Like, a record at Rangers, especially when you compare it to Barkid, is pretty good for our standards. But I still believe that that's the best chance that you're going to get, really, like, because Rangers will not be as flat as that. Folk will say, the week before, if Stevie Smith was in the dugout, or Martin the week before that, but you're thinking, for the so-called new manager bounce, I just didn't see it, man. And I think that was so telling with the Rangers fan, like the supporters at the ground yesterday, because they weren't going hell for leather. Like, it was, you could sense the anxiety, but no the toxicity that was there beforehand. And that was the kind of goodwill of the new manager to just say, well, he's in the door now, you just got to get behind him, no point in booing them off the park or whatever. But I think that was as good a chance as we'll get got to Ibrox. With them in that, the state that they're in now, and for us, I think it's a real missed opportunity. Aye,
and we were just poor. We were really poor. The goalkeeping situations obviously came up. Yeah. Stryek's out. With a medical issue, we're led to believe. We'll wait and let that get confirmed when it's gone, and hopefully not out for too long. So Beach has come in. He's been a signing we've made in the summer. I can't honestly say I noticed either way, really, at the Hearts game, how good or bad he was. I know a few folk flagged it up to say that they thought he was poor. I mean, I don't have any ill will towards the guy whatsoever. To me, and I think every Killie fan hopes we're proved wrong here, and he goes and plays 100 games and gets a move back down to England for £1 million, but great. To me, he just doesn't look ready to be played at that level, and I don't even think it's the big glaring mistakes. I mean, the Majovsky one's up there as comedy, Ken. That's you've been framed material. The Chermiti one where he scores, it goes straight through, he has to save it. The header for Danilo, it looked to me like he went down, it taken him far. There's more mistakes than his. But he's taking far too. His feet aren't quick enough to get across and push that round the corner. But I think for me, because good goalkeepers can make their mistakes, that happens. But for me, it's the obvious drop in how confident the centre halves are. All of a sudden, they look shaky. There's hesitancy, and you judge football players with your eyes. To me, and I don't blame the guy whatsoever. He doesn't pick himself either. It just doesn't look ready. So I would think there'll be a change in goals on Wednesday night. What do you think yourself?
So it's such a difficult one, because obviously I echo the thoughts of everything that you've just said there. In obviously Rangers' third goal, which obviously comes from Brown's crossfield ball that I've got no idea.
One of the weirdest things I've ever seen in a football park.
I still don't understand.
What's he even trying to do?
Because Thompson's got a man on him, and you're not getting it to the centre back at that height and all that. So, like, I honestly have no idea what he was trying to do. Like, I genuinely can't. At the time, I was like, what? And obviously we're the other side of the ground, and I thought, probably the goalie should do better. But I thought he was a lot further in. I thought he was like the edge of the 18-yard box, and kind of like with nobody else in front of him, and smacked at the goalie and nothing he can do. But see, I haven't seen it back. I'm like, wow, man, like how's that been a goal?
He moves like a guy that's not a goalie. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
See, when you go in goals at the Power League or whatever, and you're not a natural goal, you can tell, even if they're not that good, but you can tell guys that have played in goals, the way they move, they go for the ball with their hands. To me, look like somebody that's been plunked in goals.
It was honestly like, it wasn't great again for a hat it like that, and when I seen it back, I was, oh no, man. But this is what it comes down to is Wednesday night, and I kind of fear. Like,
I think he'll play,
but I'm not saying that's the wrong decision to do that, because I'm thinking, see, if you drop him, man, I think the boy's finished, man, which is nobody wants to see. I mean, like, what's that got to do for his confidence? But then I understand folk will be saying on the other side of it, saying, well, it's better than us potentially losing another 2, 3, 4 goals. I have a feeling he'll get Wednesday.
Right.
And I think that Wednesday's a chance for him to go and prove himself. I mean, Rangers, they literally just went above us there at the weekend, didn't they? But can go to Ibrox is daunting, intimidating, all the rest of it. We get that. Hearts, the best team in the league now, undoubtedly, having obviously beat Celtic comfortably at the weekend as well. But I have a feeling that they'll give him Wednesday night and be like, right, well, if it's another mistake, then he's out, and then whatever. Because I presume this loan deal will get extended for the boys.
So it was a 7-day loan we brought in. The the third or fourth choice goalie at Celtic.
Played with Dunfermline last year.
Aye, who'd come in on a 7-day loan. I assume that's just kind of red tape type stuff that you can't officially announce it. But I don't know.
Aye, but well,
because Armour came back to us on a 7-day loan.
Aye, and then
he's away again. So I don't know what we'll do on Wednesday night. But aye, rough day. But again, as painful as it is, your season's not getting defined by games at Ibrox. Rangers will kick on. I mean, I don't think evidently Rangers on there. I got Rangers, but they'll still finish in the top 3.
Aye.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty confident about that. So it was a fair one, mate. So, but the good thing is you've got a chance to write it very, very quickly. So we've got a game on Wednesday night at Aberdeen, who are having their own difficulties, and then we've got what I think feels to me like a really big game on Saturday against Falkirk. So what's your feeling for the week ahead, mate? So what's been is gone. Hearts are a good side. Rangers are obviously dwarf us in terms of the resources that they've got. So it's down to these 2 games now. A home game against a struggling Aberdeen, and Falkirk will be a direct competitor. What's your feeling for the week ahead?
I think that, and just kind of paraphrasing you for your post in the forums, but I think you were absolutely spot on with that. Like, the games, Rangers and Hearts, now is the realisation, and they don't really define our season anymore. We know what ballpark we're playing in, and I think that we must pack up. You need at least 1 win. For me, I still don't really think that that's enough, but I would take it. I think that's the bare minimum. We need to win one of the 2 games, but you should really be looking at 4 points, man. Like, I think that you've got to look at 4 points for the games. Ideally, as I've to listen, watching, of course we want to win both of them, but the bare minimum, you need to win one of them. If we come out there with maybe 2 draws or a draw and a defeat, or God forbid 2 defeats, then I don't know, man, things don't look anywhere near as rosy, and maybe there's a realisation that sets in for other folk there as well. Aye,
so I'm with you. I think I don't know if this is just a Killie hang, mate, or every team feels like this, but Aberdeen are desperate for a win again, because that Jimmy Tillene's under pressure. It seems to me that when teams need that, they come up against Killie and invariably get it. But again, that's maybe just the blue and white tinted specs, I don't know. That'll take care of itself on Wednesday as far as I'm concerned. My worry about that is Aberdeen obviously only firing on all cylinders. If Aberdeen play at 80%, they beat us, right?
Well, player for player.
Aye, a different level again. And then you're going up to Falkirk on the back of 3 defeats. Falkirk have got big crowds, mate, 7,000-8,000. Tails are up a wee bit, and you go up there, and Falkirk are capable of turning us over and all. Momentum wise, I personally think we've got a better squad, but maybe not that much in it. My worry is that we're back on here this time next week, and you're after the back of 4 defeats on the spin with Celtic to play next, and the atmosphere
is that who it is?
Totally, aye, the 9th. The atmosphere just
so it is,
totally changes. So I think we really, really need something this week. Ideally, I think if you probably take a draw at Aberdeen and go and beat Falkirk. I think that's more valuable, taking the 3 points off of them. But I think you're needing 4 points. I know, to be honest. 3 probably you get by.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the bare minimum. If to stop this for really derailing here. I think we can't know one of these 2 games, or if their negativity seeps in and folk will, obviously you never know what direction folk will go in with that, and if they start calling, I mean, you've already seen kind of threads in the forums with folk.
Aye, that's it.
And again, that's but that's to be expected. I mean, Sandy and Baz were on here a couple of weeks ago, and we spoke about a thread and started about folk talking about European football, man. But as again, broken record, say it every week, man, but you've just got to let the table take shape, man. And nothing, same when Avdi was going nuts, we're sitting 3rd in the league and folk are greeting you. 7 games, man. 7 games, like, with nothing, with what 4 points between that and Bolton Place or something like that. Like, you've just got to, but fact of the matter is Aberdeen and Falkirk are run about us, so it's like the jeopardy involved is huge. So we need to pick up, I think, 4 points.
So Falkirk specifically, so I still believe Aberdeen will kick on and be absolutely fine and finish in the top 6. My concern is more about Falkirk on Saturday, and here's why. That'll be us have played Falkirk, Dundee and Livingston, who I think are going to be the direct competitors. I think they're the teams you need to finish above. I think finish above them, you'll be fine, right? But if we don't come out of that if we come out of that with defeat, you're looking at 2 points for 9 for the 3 teams.
Well, that was the stuff that was sorting McInnes for it the January last year.
So I think that one in particular is a big one. I don't think you can afford to lose that game, even at this stage of the season.
No.
I think it's too much of a swing.
I think so, and you're right. I think that especially depending how results go on Wednesday night, it will have a real big game feel to it come Saturday, man. And again, in that like plenty of the season to go and all the rest of it, but almost feels like that kind of not quite season defining, but again, where will we be if we get beat for Falkirk on Saturday? But if we go there and win, and away win again, you know what I mean?
It's the opposite. That's why it feels so big.
Exactly. So I'm going to both games. We're going up to Falkirk on Saturday, and hope all the fans will be up for it, man, because that'll be, we've only got 800 tickets or whatever,
right.
and they'll all be right behind it. So looking forward to that, man.
So it'll be very interesting to see what kind of team we put out or not, because obviously injuries are really starting to bite a bit now, and maybe a wee bit of loss of form too. So we'll see. We made a signing last week, Tyrese John Jules, the Cat's nephew for Red Dwarf.
I've not watched Red Dwarf.
Do you know Red Dwarf very well?
Is it like kinda like space like?
So it's kind of sci-fi comedy for the late 80s, early 90s. Craig Charles, Chris Barry. It was very popular at the time.
Oh no, I know of it, but I just know watched it.
I quite liked it. It was one of the things when you're a wee boy, you felt like it was on too late for you to be up watching.
Right, okay.
So I remember my mum quite liking it and seeing it. I know a lot of folk are really into it. But the Cat's a good character, so it's an interesting wee turn there to sign. I thought it would be on the bench at least on Sunday.
Well, that's what you're hoping for, because it said in the statement when we signed him as well that he'd be available for Ibrox. So that's disappointing, but hopefully he is in the squad for Wednesday. I thought it was funny, I think somebody in the forum said he sounded like a Radio 1 DJ.
Aye.
So
it does a bit. So we'll see, maybe he comes in and freshens it up. Feels like we need something, doesn't it, to just liven things up a wee bit again.
Exactly what we've spoke about for the injuries come in there, and last week in particular. I think that was what was missing at Ibrox as well, because if Dackers and Anderson, it was just no working again. I think Dackers, Anderson, then playing Kiltie up there as well. I mean, it looks attacking, but we're not getting up, man.
No.
And we're not getting anywhere near. Whenever we do get a hold of the ball, and I'm not even going to say the Rangers third, and their half, there's just like, Ken, you've got one guy surrounded by 4 or 5 and getting hunted down. So I think that we've got questions and we'll come on to it there, but I think that there should be a change in the system, but there won't be a change in the system.
Aye, okay, so we'll see how it goes. So prediction then, mate, how many points are we taking this week for the Dandy Dons and then the Bairns?
I'll go with the 4 points. Right, optimism, man.
Which where are you getting the 3?
3 at Aberdeen and a point at Falkirk.
Aye, okay.
What about you?
Head or heart?
Both.
Hearts 4, heads 1.
Jesus Christ.
So that's just how I feel. And again, I'm not like mega depressed.
I know,
I
can.
just think that's where we're at. I just think we're.
Where's the point then?
I think we'll probably draw at Falkirk.
See, I think
Aberdeen will maybe beat us on Wednesday. But again, hopefully I'm wrong.
Aye.
Egg in my face plenty. Right, well, we'll go over and answer some of these questions.
Let's
there's
go for
a fair few. Killie fan gets in touch. Hi folks, I wasn't at the game, had to work, but our season won't be defined by losses to the Old Firm and a high flying Hearts. It's clearly identified flaws, but our manager has been open and honest enough to publicly say so, and it's refreshing rather than the usual sound bites we were used to. If we take 4 from the next 6, the Ket train is back on track. Much love for the pod, for John.
Thanks very much, mate. Much appreciated. I think that's it, mate. If we come out this, we've got 4 points. This time next week, it's we're building on it and thinking, we've got nothing to fear. Got to Parkhead their murder, like, maybe off the back of them getting beat for Rangers on Sunday as well. You know what I mean? So let's hope that's the case, mate.
But I think the 4 points has to be taken for what the 4 points would mean, though. I know. And again, I'm not trying to pour cold water on optimism here, quite the opposite. That's 4 massive points, mate. That's no 4 points as an alright, that's us challenging for the top 6 again. That's 4 huge points in our fight to make sure we're in this league. So I think that's I just think we're better erring, and you've been saying it for the word go, to be fair to you, man. We're just better erring the side of caution than now. And every point's a prisoner. And if we can get to Christmas with 25, 30 points, I think that's a really, really, really good spot to be in, man.
I'd be delighted with that. I say that if somebody offered us 10th and I would shake hands on.
Aye, I think that's where we're at. Right, okay. Norman Tolson gets
Yes.
in touch. Norman was unhappy. I've got so much to send, mate. I'm angry, but I'll go with this. I've always said when a new manager comes in, we give the manager time. And I've always said December. I'm sure how it works with others apart from Sir Steve Clarke. That was far too negative today, but we know the Killie way. But I'll wait until December before deciding to jump on or off the bandwagon. So what do you think of that?
I think that's absolutely fair. It's so hard because there's so many different expectancies floating about here now.
Aye. We don't feel in sync now.
No.
As a club and as a support, I don't think.
No, because last year it was across the board. We're underperforming here. Like with the money that was made available, qualified for Europe the year before, Derek McInnes at the helm, huge figure in Scottish football. You're like, right, this isn't good enough, man, with the money that we are spending. Whereas there is this cost cutting that we're all aware of, and it's the right decision. Like, we've got a training ground to build, we've got a new pitch, all the rest of it, and working off the back of like 7-figure losses for the last couple of years. So, but there's an element of the support because of how bad the league is, which sometimes I would even fall into that category because that's what I'm kicking myself with, man. I'm like, we should have went and gave Rangers a run for their money yesterday. We should have beat Celtic at home a few weeks ago. Hearts out of the equation now. We just never turned out they're better than us. But you're like, I think that there's so many folk that think that we're a lot better than what we are and we're not, and that's no criticising us, man. I'm just like, this is where we're at. And a lot of folk aren't seeing that. But folk will be listening to this and thinking, I don't know what he's seen because I'm seeing a miles better style of football and this that. I'm not seeing that. But I'm no moaning about it. I think that's acceptable for where we are, and I still stand by that Kettlewell could be the right appointment at the right time, suiting both clubs to get us to where we need to be and get him where he maybe needs to be. But I'm not out there thinking, oh, this is unbelievable, like, and the style of football is incredible. I'm not seeing that, man.
Aye, interesting, man. Interesting times ahead. Allan Evan, then a friend at Pod, gets in touch. No question for tonight, lads. Just a couple of comments. Last 2 games have shown the impact of the cost-cutting measures put in place by the club hierarchy. No one person to blame, but we risked having one serviceable keeper, and it's backfired. It's easy to say if Strike was fit, we'd have done better, especially yesterday, but in the cold light of day, Beach played and was out of his depth, and we look a shadow of the side we were a month ago. Outside of Watson and Mayo, we have a collection of half-season players, and they will have games that that seriously underwhelm. The trick is to get as many playing well at once as we can. So strap yourself in. It's potentially time for the dip in the season, and when we all need to be supporters and not fans. Lastly, if we swap keepers on Wednesday and the new boy bombs, where do we go for there? Are we going back to Baragiti?
Well, legend, man. Need to bring one. Again, I think that was absolutely fair there. I still actually kind of stand by controversially that I think that Beach deserves Wednesday night, and then that's where you really make your mind up. And again, I know that folk will say that's pressure on him as well, but I think that after that shambles at the weekend, I'm with you in the Hearts thing. I was ever so slightly concerned, but I wasn't overly like, oh my god, this guy's. I was like, tough. I think he should do better at the second goal. I think the first half, there was a couple of balls across the box that he could have dealt with a bit better, but I mean, Ibrox was a right half, so I think that you game Wednesday night, and if it's the same again, and he looks, because I mean, he's obviously got pedigree, you know what I mean, like for where he was before. But as you said, it's not to do with particular ability at times, it's maybe just not ready, because it's like senior football at a top level here, man. Going to Ibrox and playing in front of 50,000 fans, like, you're not playing the 20s football anymore, man.
Bartley said it last week.
Aye.
He put that hanging talking about Corey Armour, who is at least playing men's football, whether it's followed in the leagues. I don't know if that's something that comes into it.
Again, that's in that comment for Bartley now looks like really good in hindsight, and I 100% seen where he was coming for last week, but I just thought like Beach was signed as a number 2, like he's got to be given his chance, but I think that Wednesday night you should actually stick to him. But again, I like football and I like that.
I don't know.
I just mean I think that'll finish him, man, if he gets dropped after that.
So I think for me on Wednesday with a guy, you almost can't win, because if you drop him, it says everything. It's like you said, when does he ever come back in? But if he goes and throws one in after 5 minutes.
Aye.
It's worse,
Aye.
actually, because at least if you drop him, you go, you took him out, he wasn't ready, you can bring it back in 6 months maybe. Whereas if he goes there and flings one in, or even drops a cross, or I think you'll be able to feel the tension. So
No.
tough one, but listen, you've got to trust the Ket to make the right call.
Aye.
That's what I'd say. Right, let's go through the questions. Captain Conker gets in touch, the gorgeous squirrel. If you could emergency loan a player, who would you recruit in?
Well, a goalie.
There you go.
Aye.
Aberdeen and Falkirk being the next games, how do you see them going? We've already answered that, mate. Favourite mode of transport for an away day?
I've just got to go bus. I've got to give a shout out to the Valley bus,
Aye.
man. So, and that was the only thing that cheered me up yesterday. So I actually haven't said to you yet. So, my wee cousin Murray,
Oh, aye.
he crashed his motor on the way to the game.
Right.
He was supposed to go on the bus. He spun coming round a corner. Quite scary. Flipped the motor and all the rest of it. But he came back on, so it was only one side of it. And then we basically he came on the bus, but that was just the talk of the bus the entire way up. So in the way home, we had to stop and literally pick his Reggie plate up for the side of the road from where he got to get off the bus. But the full way back, just colder, and that was singing songs about him and let him.
That's what you want,
It was bus heritage. That was a good story to tell. So
his father's got plenty of money, he'll buy him a new car.
Exactly,
Easy.
man. A Spanish motor.
And he also asked, as soon as Friday's over, Halloween, is that the Christmas tree getting looked at?
No chance. We've middle of December for me.
Aye. 1st of December at the earliest.
It's
It's too early for me personally, but I
same.
can accept
You're
it.
traditionalist, mate. Christmas Eve it should be, man.
Correct, mate.
What about your favourite mode of transport? You're a train guy.
I'd prefer the train.
Aye.
Graham Johnston, friend at Pod, disappointing we didn't come out the traps and attack them. 10-minute spell that led to a goal showed they're mentally weak and there to be got it. 2 weeks in a row, Kettlewell's got it badly wrong in terms of tactics. Big week coming up with 2 winnable games that might make the table look better.
Agreed, mate. I just think that we definitely should have got after Rangers a lot more yesterday. I didn't buy the Rangers looked better. And again, folk were crediting Rangers' defence, but we weren't there.
We gave them everything they needed yesterday. We gave them exactly the type of game that they've been needing. And we were the right folk because we were well in ourselves. Sorry, mate, I've just...
No, because I think that was definitely the case. We've obviously
I've only got one horn here, obviously, because I'm...
covered that line. You want me to take cover, mate?
Oh, you maybe need to do the Patreon, but... The real boy that gets in touch. First of all, a tremendous KillieFC.com special on the Patreon. Thank you, mate. And if you're not on the Patreon, what you doing? Interesting and insightful stuff every time. Thank you so much. Getting worried about the goalkeeper stuff. Beach isn't at it. And the word on Max seems grim. What are we going to do?
Aye, it's one of them. And again,
I'd have offered to play, but I'm injured.
blame the Corsa, man.
Blame the Corsa. I don't know what we're going to do. McCrory's over drinking pints in Denmark.
At least he's enjoying himself.
Good for him.
Aye.
At least it was free because it's a dear pint in the old Denmark, I tell you.
How much are you coming on it?
I reckon you're about, what were you for a pint? Tenner anyway.
Tenner.
Aye. That was Copenhagen, so I don't know if where he's staying's a bit different.
That's Dublin prices, isn't it? Man? That's what I was. What was it for 5 pint of Guinness in Dublin there?
I was hearing you both around would you call it an on? It could you have an card? The Tequila Rose.
Aye, so it was when we bumped into wee James J. Forrest and that one.
Aye, good friend at Pod.
Aye, when we bumped into them, a brand new and that, and then that pub was not a lot cheaper, but I think a round for us for like the Guinness was like, don't know, man, like €35 or something like that. So €15 cheaper than everywhere else. So I was like, I'll go and get a round of shots in for the boys. So the 6 is Forrest, the Forrest brothers, Declan McDade, and their air pal, who's a football player. I don't know, can't remember who it was though. Went and got them Tequila Rose. Guy pulls them out, and I'm thinking, maybe like €70 or something like that. And then next time, man, the card reader comes out, man, €96, and I'm like, fuck. I was like, well, I've got to save face here, man.
Aye, had to do it now.
Aye, so when you're trying to be the big shot and buy now and then for the...
Did they buy you one back?
Nah. Just the were there, man, sat on the table, man.
That boy Forrest didn't have much money.
Nah, nothing at all, man.
The Killie View podcast, really feel for Kettlewell at the minute. Cheap individual errors, so many injuries, fair to say it's not a reflection on him, and it's up to the players to take more ownership. Having said that, Aberdeen at home presents the perfect tonic to rectify that.
Agreed, mate.
As it's been a rough run for Kettlewell, so hopefully the kind of mood changes this week, mate. Mikey Kenmure, I back Kettlewell, but I fear with the injuries in this system, we're going to go on one of his long bad runs he had at County and at Motherwell. As recalling McCrory an option, he's better than what we have in the building. Fitba is shite when it's not going right, absolutely ruins your weekend.
Spot on, mate.
Aye, well, I'm still fizzing for the Hertz game, so I can't say anything.
I've moved on, mate.
Distract you.
I'm actually back on the Dell train, man.
Are you?
You
supporting McInnes?
Aye, man, just for absolute pattern, man. What's the point anyway, man? You know what I mean?
I've nothing to say about McInnes.
Really want Hertz to win the league, man. And Dell deserves it more than anybody.
David Hanna gets in touch. It was nice to see Callum yesterday.
Nice to called McCallum, man.
Aye.
Appreciate it.
He mentioned a very pertinent question. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Well, David Hanna can answer that better than everybody, given he follows Killie.
Aye, you're the man to answer that,
exactly.
Dave. You missed about 4 games since
I'm really calling out for that.
JFK gets shot.
I want an article for David Hanna.
Oh, it's so good, wasn't it?
Mate, he's a brilliant writer, man.
Brilliant writer.
So good to read,
easy
man.
to read. Alexander Marchie gets in touch. Heading up the road from London to get to the Aberdeen game on Wednesday. Is anyone heading back south airway after? Wow, man. Coming from London to watch Killie.
Oh, man, that's... Whose question's that, sir?
That's Alexander Marchie.
What a legend, man. That's insane.
Mate. Hope it's worth the trip, mate.
Well, that's what the Niv done on a regular basis.
So
coming up for London, man.
So he
was saying that like it was during that period where, well, it's so grim that he can't even remember really any of the games, just remembers the journeys for London. I mean, so far it's no the same for you, mate.
Aye, fingers crossed. Darren McIntyre, poor performance against a poor Rangers team. Need to win on Wednesday, but my question is, can Cal rate some of the paper planes that were thrown at us? That was his favourite.
Aye, there was... I'm all for that, man. Aye, there was no actual badness. Well, it's just... None of it was going to hurt you.
Harmless.
Exactly.
Harmless.
And again, credit to the stewards, man.
Good.
They're brand new. I don't know what they're like the other side. I seen one guy getting huckled out for the police. But our side, I'm just going to say they were very lenient. When I wouldn't have blamed them if they...
Aye.
And they were lenient, man.
Good, that's what we like to hear. Gordon Bell, are Killie the team you want to play when a team is struggling? Was an absolute certainty we'd roll over and make sure Rangers got their first home win. Bearing in mind we've Jimmy Tilleen coming, who's under immense pressure. How many do we let Aberdeen win by?
Well, this was your take, so.
I've got a bad feeling about that. But listen, I think a lot of Aberdeen fans think the opposite. Feel like Rugby Park's been a graveyard all the years.
It has been of late after them dominating it. And then before that, it's odd as it in spells, man, because we used to be the notorious Aberdeen managers getting sacked, wasn't it?
Right,
so, and then McInnes absolutely owned us. And
stop mentioning his name, man.
Mate, we've got to. Every week, we've got to at least have over 4.5 mentions of Derek McInnes, man.
Over and under. Nonsense Potter, if you were a bin man and you got to pick 2 current Killie players to join you on your shift in the lorry, who would they be?
That's a good question. I don't know. You want somebody that's got a bit of chat, man?
Aye. I'll go for... Who do you think would put the graft in and would be alright? Brad Lyons. I think you could trust him to have a laugh, but would also would put his weight. And I'll go for Jamie Brandon.
Why Jamie Brandon?
Gaines looks rough around the edges. Nails or graces about him.
Aye. Would you drive or would you be out there getting your hands dirty with the binges?
I'd drive.
I would binge it, man.
Oh, would you?
I
worry. See if I left at a bin and a rat or something fell out, that would be the end. Although that did happen to me once. We had cardboard boxes outside the house for the...
Seen if you had a bin and Derek McInnes fell with it, man.
And I picked up the cardboard box to go and put it in the recycling, and a mouse ran out the cardboard box and actually ran up my arm.
Mice are alright, man. Cute, aye, they're sound, man.
So, aye, that would be my 2. Scott Allison gets in touch. Maybe been greedy with a second question. We've not even answered your first one, but we will. Where was Kiltie asked to play on Sunday? He's a 10, which should be a bit further up. But he seemed to be playing deep with Watson and Lyons.
I agree wholeheartedly, mate. I think that, again, that the system, when the team comes out, you're like, that's attacking, man. Like, you're 3 forwards against Rangers, but it just doesn't translate into how we're set up. So that's why I'm like, one of them had to drop out. And it's never got to be Dackers, right? And it's harsh on Bruce, but I think you're better having Kiltie. Because I actually thought it was interesting when Tiffany came on. I'm like, this is more like the system that he was supposed to be playing at the beginning.
Where it seemed like it was going to be.
Kiltie and Tiffany behind the striker. But then obviously Rangers go and score, so you don't even get to see any benefit of that whatsoever.
I would freshen it up on Wednesday. I'd bring Tiffany in or something like that.
Try
something like
that. Gives a bit of a lift, man.
A wee lift.
Brandon didn't look right, man.
Oh, he got roasted.
He did, man.
God bless him, but he was working the shift in the bins, therefore. Matt gets in touch. I can't be bothered hearing the moans from some regarding the last 2 games. Terrible performances, but we move on to Wednesday and look for improvement. Do you think we'll see TJJ make his debut?
Well, Matt would have turned the pod off before we go to these questions. Then if we can't
Sorry,
get back
mate.
to the morning,
Sorry,
man,
that
so,
out first.
So,
With the bench, at least you would hope, wouldn't you?
You'd hope so, man, because we need something off the bench.
I think so. Allan Bowie, those 2 back-to-back defeats are hard to take, especially if I haven't performed in either. Massive next 2 games for us this week. 6 points would be great, but I'd be delighted with 4.
Yeah,
same as us.
Met Allan last week. Good to see him in the flesh again, man.
Excellent. Del Steele, no right to win any game, but the last 2 have been worrying. The Mac situation is bad enough, but Chief Finger Pointer Dees needs benched. He's a liability. SK's first mistake was making him vice captain. Seen a wee bit of negativity about Deesy.
I've seen it seeping through. I'm not seeing the finger pointing, but a lot of folk are. But I'm genuinely not seeing that. Maybe I'm blinded with whatever, but I'm genuinely not seeing that as much. But again, I'm no East Stand side and all the rest of it, whatever difference that would make. But I think that I don't think any of the defence but I don't think MD get past marks at the weekend, if I'm being honest. I think that Watson at a push purely because he's busy, man. But again, he was getting caught out. But when you mentioned Lyons earlier, sorry, man, Lyons didn't have a good game, and he was sitting. Watson had to cover that entire midfield himself, man. And so I think that nobody's having a good game. But the fact of the matter, these big error for the Hearts goal is the huge thing. And Sunday was just a disaster for everybody.
Vicky Black gets in touch. Last week's games have been really poor, but I'm praying for a positive vibe on Wednesday night. 3 points and some disco lights at full time, please.
Yes, please, man.
Would be very welcome, Vic. Very welcome indeed. Mark Robertson gets in touch and says, injuries to vital players not helping, but feel the lack of an experienced leader on the park becomes more obvious when we're under pressure.
I think that's a brilliant point. I think that's a great point.
Hang on, man.
Because there's nobody else that you really turn to. And
they never said something about that. He was like, we need a 33-year-old, 34-year-old centre half sometimes to come in and do that role, and there's definitely nobody there doing it.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah. Scott gets in touch. Is the new training ground being built on ancient burial ground? The amount of injuries we're racking up is crippling us. Big Mac's been out for an extended period is a huge blow. Aberdeen on Wednesday is massive.
So I think that the injuries in particular, some of them we're saying injury prone players, but you know what I mean? Again, the Stryac king,
that's a different one.
Is a different thing altogether.
You can't moan when McGuinness is injured, and you can't moan when Lowry's injured, because he was injured. Daniels is a third one.
Because obviously that's just no anticipated at all. But I just think that and I think that this will be one that will maybe, again, depending how stuff goes, you'll see maybe a change in the narrative about the recruitment.
Interesting. Galak asks, is it too late to get Dell back with a bag of cans?
Is that an air mention? Either that.
I would take the cans. Jack Wilson gets in touch and said, if you had to pick an 8-a-side team for Wednesday night of past or present Killie players using each of the letters in the word Aberdeen, who would you pick? You can use first or last names, but you've got to include a goalie.
Oh, so you can use first names.
So
I was thinking, I kind of think anybody.
A for your goalie.
And C your cola.
Right.
Because we've no get any.
We'll do 2 defenders, B and E.
Billy Bertenson.
And E. Eric. Any defenders that would start with E?
No.
Eddie? No. Edmund? Nobody that even starts with an E?
No. That's what I'm saying. The only player I can actually think whose second name is Eremenko.
Lee Urban.
At the back though.
I will play myself off.
Right.
R.
Rory
McKenzie.
I've got to think of somebody better than that. Allan Robertson.
And
then he'll fill in at the back.
Right, perfect. D.
Robbie Days.
Another 2 E's.
Eremenko and Eric Scorer.
And N up front.
Enjoy.
By the way, class. Scott Allison's other question. Baffling decision by Kettlewell to sign a keeper on an emergency loan and then bench him. Beach had a howler against Hearts and should have sat this one out. Toby Oluwayemi, that's his name, has played more games and should have started. Fair enough. Alessandro Boscanero, who has so many things, but Not Italian. Two of the toughest games Beach could have had, but he's not covered himself in glory. Do we try to keep the boy for Celtic, or do we recall Robbie or someone else, or persist with young Eddie? As always, you want him to succeed, but he's no Woodman, Bachman or Dennis.
See, it's a weird one with the McCrory, because I think that their season goes into a winter break in November. So whether we'll maybe try to emergency loan it for a few weeks until McCrory's ready to come back.
Oh, and interesting.
And I think that would, and then if McCrory's coming back with a bit of confidence, hopefully that's exactly the Robbie McCrory
that we see, the guy that we hoped we would see.
We're signing, man.
It's a fair point, mate. James McKee. Do you feel there's a realistic possibility we're getting dragged into a relegation battle? I like Kettlewell and Backham, however, out with this control, the injuries have killed the system. Not panic stations, I hope we kick on. Just injuries killing us at the minute.
I think that, again, 7 teams or whatever are potentially in the relegation battle, so I agree with that.
I think we're one of them, James. Callum McGee, is it time to change our formation from 5-3-2 to 4-4-2 or 4-3-2-1? Really concerned about the lack of width beyond the halfway line. We're playing within the width of the 18-yard box in the opponent's half. Tight and congested, stretch the game and create more space for runners.
Yes, mate, but we don't have any wide players. We've only got Tiffany.
Aye, we could play on the other side.
Unless we're talking about the debate with Brannan. When Brannan's got to play, would it maybe be that
weird?
outrageous?
Brannan's been out for so long now,
because
get him in the team,
he's
man.
got to come back in. Would it be that outrageous if you're talking about that and you're trying? But the thing is, the system's not got to change. Like,
yeah,
it's no changing.
So.
He's sticking with the 3 centre halves. But whether, if that was the case, and if you had to plug a hole in it, whether you play the likes of Brannan right mid, man, and have like Mayo or something behind them.
Right, it seems like there's going to be some changes anyway. Gunnar Vance, the most handsome man in Europe, if not the world. I don't even really know what to say. The mistakes are killing us. To be fair to Brown, it was some ball into the Rangers striker under pressure. If he could do that, he'd end up playing in the English Premier League. I actually laughed when Beach made his first mistake. Anyway, 3 points is now a must on Wednesday. Kettlewell will need to work some miracles due to the injuries. And the final question is, Cal smiled at all in the past 2 weeks?
Aye, so Gunnar Vance sent me a really funny message, man. Said that I looked absolutely miserable as fuck on last week's podcast.
Aye, you were a wee bit annoyed, weren't you?
Aye, man.
But you're over it now, aren't you?
Of course, man.
Aye.
So that's I'm over it, man.
Soccer, mate. Listen, there's more important things in the world, really.
Just guys kicking a ball about a pitch, man.
Innit? Who cares?
Exactly.
Really deep down, does it matter?
Aye.
It does,
Really
unfortunately.
does, life and death.
It's the most important of the least important things. Right, the boss bust gets in touch. Cal's burner account.
It could be, by the way.
He's ready for this.
Aye.
Allan's gripe of the week's been just bumped down a peg. Right, boss bust. You're allowed your say. I hate our fans. Off the back of last week where our pathetic fans were silent against McInnes, it shows what a small and pitiful club we are. Goes back years under Michael Johnson, treat it like crap and we remain silent. We sit back and accept mediocrity time and again. A fan base that's equal to Morton or Queen of the South that just turn up and offer fuck all. It's piss poor. Happened under the shite management like McCulloch, Locke, Dyer and Wright. We just sit back and take it. Fan base are toothless and meek, just like the performance on Sunday. When fans with decent fan bases are unhappy, they have the balls to make a noise in a stand. It's time to show some backbone, you lot. Honestly, such shite supporters.
I that's incredible, man. I just love it, man. I like
makes you look like a happy clapper.
It does, man. But I'm like, again, very, very passionate points put across there, man. I want the boys bust to get in touch so I actually know who it is, man.
Aye, please let us know who you are.
And we can chat, man. But no, like, because I think it is like, it's emotions are high and all that, you know. And we've said 100 times, we feel, Ken, it's like the cuddly toy thing with Command, like, because folk will be like, oh, we don't behave like spoiled brats and this, that, but man, there's got to be a bit more on edge, man. You know what I mean? There's got to be. And that's, well, like, my feelings even at full time yesterday, and I'm not saying you're going to give the players dogs abuse, but I was like, again, every day, like, applauding and that, with the players coming over, I'm like, man, we shat it against the worst Rangers team in 10 years, man. So we've got to be better than that.
So the worst thing for a Fitba fan base, worse than anger and sadness and happy clappers, is indifference. That's what kills Fitba clubs. Folk that aren't bothered. So I welcome that. See if you feel that strongly about it, come out and say it. Because he's talking about himself. He's part of a community that he's part of. So that's what you can't abide. Folk, well, never mind that, because that's the worst thing you can do.
And the fact of the matter is, whether you agree or disagree with him, his priorities come on. He cares about the club. He's standing up for the club, and I welcome that. I know.
Right, last one comes for the short leash salmon chucker.
It could be a she.
Oh, it should be a cheat, of course.
Aye.
That is absolutely right, mate. It's very stereotypical of us. We don't want that. It looks like Beach couldn't save a Word document. So where do we go from here? The lone guy, Max has been such a huge loss. So listen,
Whose question is that?
That's a short lease salmon chucker. Listen, but Carl's right. If Beach is in on Wednesday, you just go to get behind him, and hopefully that was a blip, and if he kind of finds a bit of confidence, a clean sheet or something, that would lift it, wouldn't it?
Agreed, mate. Agreed.
In a big way. Right, let's keep the motor running and go straight to Allan's gripe of the week.
Aye, because I didn't even know the gripe was sent in, so I'll be hearing this live and all.
Oh, okay, so
it's usually sometimes have a wee peek.
Aye, you can't help yourself.
Nah, you can't.
Christmas Eve looking at your presents.
Aye, when you used to put wee holes in their presents.
I used to even look behind the windies in the advent calendar. I was that excited.
Oh, did you?
Aye,
see what else could be there but a chocolate, man.
Aye. And
see, I'm lucky I had cats, because I used to just blame them and say, the cat was obviously scratching at it, man.
I didn't have MD to blame.
Again, man.
Right, Allan Agnew gets in with Allan's gripe of the week. Right, well, where do I start? What sort of music do you like? Well, I hate all the hip hop shite and the techno crap. That's not music. When I was growing up, I liked two-tone and ska, especially Madness. Well, then along came the mighty Status Quo, who I saw in 1982 at the old Glasgow Apollo. What a venue. Well, I totally hate that monstrosity. That is the Hydro. It's a horrible venue and the acoustics are crap. It's so badly designed. To get to the top, you need a degree in mountaineering. I preferred the old SECC. The Grand Hall was the best for atmosphere, especially when the Proclaimers played there. Hampden Park is not just a crap venue for football, but as for a concert as well, Murrayfield is better. My musical tastes have varied from down the years, two-tone to heavy metal like Iron Maiden. Crowded House, who are Australian, are quite decent. Anyway, what music venue do you like? That wasn't really a gripe, that was just maybe a kind of
observation.
A wee sojourn in the Aggies' music tastes.
Which is welcome.
I think the Hydro is much better than the SECC for sound, I have to say, Allan.
Well, you're somebody that understands.
Well,
and I don't mean that, but I mean make it, because I couldn't comment. I don't know any of that.
No.
Whereas as somebody that has been a live performer on numerous occasions,
well, you're speaking about Hampden there, Allan. You know.
Well, of course, you want to tell the listeners.
Some of you have played Hampden with their bands.
Right. Have so, man.
Broken finger or no. I've got a scar on my hand. I didn't with a gig too. It was on my knuckle.
What happened?
We were singing Tie Your Mother Down by Queen, and I was like doing a wee Freddie Mercury impression, and I spun round and sliced my horn off Bullet's cymbal.
Oh,
really similar to that.
Aye, it's very similar.
What's your favourite music venue then? Allan asks.
I guess it's a tough one, to be honest.
Aye.
Again, I'm no as blessed. I've been at plenty of gigs, to be fair, but no like as if there's one thing that really screams out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I like an outdoor venue.
Aye, so do I. Like
well, stadium bands have been to.
Do you know what's brilliant? Scarborough outdoor open air theatre.
See, that's why you need to answer these questions.
Really, really good.
The only other person that would decant about that is David Hanna.
Aye, I think that's really, really good. I know folk love the Barrowlands. I actually weirdly prefer the Callan Academy or the O2, whatever it is. No.
So, the Barris been to see the Saw Doctors there a couple of times, and O2, I did a few gigs there recently as well. Aye. Mm-hmm. It's funny though, because SWG3.
Yes.
When I went to see Razorlight there, and back in April time or whatever, Johnny Burrell was like, this is the weirdest venue for sound ever. Because he was a bit paranoid. They sounded brilliant as well, but he didn't feel the sound was travelling. Again,
I mean, John went up there to see Father Son last 2 years ago or something.
It's usually like in a rave venue, isn't it?
Aye, interesting place.
So Allan Agnew would have been there for all the raves.
The techno stuff he likes. All right, thanks very much for your gripe, Allan. It wasn't too gripey. Right, all roads lead to Killie, and then we'll get wrapped up, mate, and head away. Shall we? So what we're trying to do is raise a wee bit of awareness and cash for the food bank. There will be a food bank collection on Wednesday against Aberdeen, but you might be listening to this a bit later before the Falkirk game. But obviously we'll try and keep you posted as much as we can.
Indeed.
And if you're able to give in these times of need, then please do. I just want to say on record, what a disgrace. Do you think that food banks are so normalised?
Oh, of course.
Absolutely shambolic situation.
We've spoken about it a few times,
but Robert and the team are doing a hell of a job. So please support
they are
it
indeed, and they're all the time. And again, if you can afford to, please give, man.
Right, so we'll try to raise a wee bit of cash. It's all roads lead to Killie. We're going into Killie players for history. I'm reading out their career path. Cal's got to guess which player it is. You ready, love? Everybody say yeah. Yeah.
Only in the Patreon, mate. If you want to hear me do that, £5 a month.
Amazing moment. Right, you ready? Here we go. First player is Celtic, Birmingham on loan, Ipswich on loan, Portsmouth, Dundee, Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, Hearts, Dunfermline, Rotherham, Kilmarnock.
Oh. What era?
Played for Kilmarnock 2009, 2010, 15 appearances, 1 goal.
Go again, sorry.
Celtic,
Yeah.
Birmingham City and Ipswich on loan, Portsmouth, Dundee, Wigan on loan, Sheffield Wednesday on loan, Rotherham, Hearts, Dunfermline, Rotherham, Kilmarnock. Then he went.
Mark Birchall.
Marky Birchall.
Aye.
Well done, mate.
It was the Dunfermline thing.
Aye. Right, sorted. Right, the next one. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Chesterfield on loan, Nottingham Forest, Norwich City, Coventry City, Doncaster.
Sammy Clingan.
Friend at pod.
Aye, friend of the pod, man.
Friend at pod. Super Sammy.
Aye. Great guy.
Lovely guy.
So nice, man.
Lovely man, isn't he?
Aye.
Aye, so there we go. Sammy Clingan, 2 in a row. And the last one is Tottenham Hotspur, Barry, Pistuacy, Peterborough, Newport, Kilmarnock.
Ooh. Era.
2016-17. If I give you the team he left.
Oh, Koulibaly.
Koulibaly.
Aye, so it is the Spurs, man. Aye, that's right.
Spursy.
Take that then, £3.
That was
well, six.
£6 straight in.
Fire it in, man.
Thanks to Sandy Matchborn. I've replied to Koulibaly's tweets on numerous occasions saying, come on the pod. But
does he not always just like them and doesn't he? But again, it's by the way, dealing with football players, man.
I know
they don't get a lot of it, man.
Nah,
like you can explain everything time and time again, and then what does he want us to do again? You know, just read the message I sent him.
There you go. Stereotyping football players there, man. Terrible.
Well, all the rare ones that say they'll come on the pod and then they'll get back.
Do you know the best response we've ever had? So we're still trying actively to get people on the podcast. We've been very successful in over the last 3.5 years, whatever it is. But the best one ever was Ali Mitchell, who I approached. And I went, Ali, will you please come on the podcast? You're such a hero to my generation of supporters. People would love to hear from you. And do you know what he said? No. I went, alright. He went, it's not my type of thing.
But it was actually sound, wasn't it?
But, he was brand, he was so cool, mate.
And his missus was there and she's like, he just doesn't do it, the mysterious man and all that.
He just doesn't want to do it.
But we would rather that than somebody that said, I
need bother, and then, text me and I'll
never,
text you back, and then you're texting them 100 times and don't get it on.
It never happens, whereas that was just funny because you're like, well, at least we can.
I knew where I stood with Ali Mitchell, straight shooter.
Straight shooter.
And what a bloody player he was. Right, that is, mate.
Aye, that sounds good.
So big week, everybody. Get along to Rugby Park on Wednesday if you can, and if you're one of the lucky 750 with a ticket for Falkirk, go and enjoy it. And regardless of what happens, we'll be back next Monday to talk it all over, won't we, mate?
We will indeed.
Okay.
This is the one constant this season.
That's it.
We'll be here and we'll always be there, at least until May. Whether
we've got 10 fingers or 9, we'll be here to talk about it. Aye, right, so get behind the boys, everybody. I think they need us round about the now, so let's get wellied in. Okay, thanks very much, everybody, for listening and watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.